WTBQ.
Good morning. This is Jeanine Panarelli. I am the broker, owner, licensed real estate broker of Panarelli Realty, and I am here with...
This is Michael Giannetto, a mortgage loan originator with Residential Home Funding. Thank you for joining us on the Home and Mortgage Show this morning.
Right here on WTBQ. We are the Home and Mortgage Show. Happy Thursday, everyone. This whole week went by so fast.
It really did.
Oh, my gosh.
Did. And
I'm
Christmas
so not
is only a few days away.
I am so not ready. What do we have, 4 days left?
I don't know, but thank God for my wife. Because,
all right, who helps me? I got a lot of fish I got to bake on Tuesday.
Mike is saying the same thing I just did.
Oh my
Thank God for my wife.
I'm not ready. Yeah, well, my husband's like, where'd she go? I've been disappeared the past few weeks. He's like, where'd she go? We got a lot to catch up on.
Absolutely, so a lot of parties going on, a lot of holiday parties, a lot of Christmas parties. Yeah. WTBQ had a great party.
Yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun on Tuesday night. We were out in the snow.
Yes.
We were troopers. Yeah. We put on
bearing
a four-wheel
through
drive.
the bad weather.
Yes,
it was fantastic.
It was great. It was great. A lot of fun. A lot of nice, great people. So we're here again on Thursday. We're talking about, last week we were talking about credit.
Absolutely. We wanted to finish up a little bit.
Yeah, I had some questions from people who asked me during the week, a few more questions. So we're going to finish up with that. And then we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to everybody's heart. Property taxes.
Absolutely. and that's, there's a lot of stuff going on with that and property taxes, and it's a big challenge in New York.
Yeah.
A lot of people are facing, hard times with these taxes.
You can't say property taxes without going, oh.
Yeah.
Ugh. But so a couple of things people have asked me during the week since the last show was, what if you're a co-signer on someone else's loan? How does that affect you if you want to take out a mortgage?
Well, as a co-signer, and typically no matter what it is, a credit card, a car loan, on a mortgage, it's always going to show up on the co-signer's credit. The way that trade lines report, they show if it's a joint account, if it's a co-signed account, if it's an individual account. So it's going to show up. And when you are applying for something else, a mortgage, a car, credit cards, things of that nature, it can have an impact on your ability to get other financing and other types of credit.
Yeah, I mean, you're the co-signer. You don't know if the person first on the account is always making those payments on time.
I can tell you I've had many situations where people have no idea. They co-signed for a sister or a friend years ago, and they stopped making the payments, and they had no idea. And they thought they had, we were talking about people that know they have good credit.
Yeah.
And
then
we pull the credit.
People who don't know they have bad credit.
Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden they have that 385 credit score that I mentioned. It wouldn't be that low as a result. But it definitely happens that they're not aware that they co-signed for something. I'm sorry, that the payment history on that account
affects
may be derogatory.
Wow, that's
that's a great question. Though.
That is a good question. Someone also came to me. Well, I had a case where a buyer had a pre-approval letter from like 6-7 months ago, and I said, "Well, I'd like you to get an updated pre-approval letter." And they said, "Oh, no, I don't want that to affect my credit. The more you pull, let's find the house first." And I said, "Yeah, but something could have happened in the last 7 months that you weren't aware of that maybe..." And
it happens. It happens. And those pre-approvals should really be updated every 60 days.
Okay, every 60 days.
Yeah, every 60 days.
Okay.
The pre-approvals, especially for somebody like you, that's going to waste your time and your energy and go out and show somebody a house.
Oh, it's crazy.
It really should be something that's pretty current.
Once they get their pre-approval, what are some of the do's and don'ts? Now, you get the certificate, you should frame it and hang it on the wall because, okay, I'm pre-approved. What should they do and what shouldn't they do as far as maintaining that credit?
If they're in the process of purchasing a home, they should not open up any new credit cards, any new vehicle loans if they can avoid it.
No furniture options.
Yeah,
no 10%.
Flanagan. Yeah, no 10% off card. People love to open those because, especially you're going out and you're spending $300 on some item and you're getting $30 off, and people find that appealing.
They do. They offer you a discount.
It can hurt.
If you open up take a credit card today, we'll give you 10% off your entire purchase.
Right.
Yeah.
How about the ones that are no interest for like 5 years? At this point,
they do that
2019.
on furniture.
Yeah.
do that on
I see
furniture.
Raymore and Flanagan advertises.
Could you imagine buying a whole house of furniture and not having to pay
my
for 5
goodness.
years? You use the furniture for 5 years and then go, okay, now what?
Yeah,
Now I gotta
exactly.
pay for-
And then you get new furniture.
Oh gosh. So yeah, all right. So that's
So
a good
yeah,
question
that's
too.
some of them. Don't open up any new credit cards, and if you're in the process, don't go and get any kind of car loan. Try not to transfer money around in accounts. I always tell people, really kind of keep it simple as you're going through the process, so it makes it a little easier and a little less brain damage for you to deal with as you're going through it.
Speaking of, now I have a question for you. All right, this has happened to us, I'm going to say a few times already in the past couple of months. This is huge, and I'd like to know where everybody's getting it from, but I want in. People are coming to me with cash.
pyramid scheme?
No,
What are you doing?
no. They want. I have this one guy. He says to me, "I want to come look at this house," and something just felt weird on, just from talking to the guy on the phone. And I said to my admin, Jessica, so shout out to Jessica in the office listening. I says to her, you need to come with me because something's not right. I just sense this. And we get to this house, and this guy pulls up in this brand new car. And he says, I want to buy this house. I have cash. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I says, but you just can't come with cash. You have to, it's got to be somewhere. It's got to be in a bank account. It's got to be in a 401k. He's like, no, you don't understand. I have cash. And he opens up his trunk of the car and he starts lifting up wads of cash out of the back of his car.
Yeah,
I looked
that
at Jessica.
might
I said,
be a little bit of a red flag.
See, I told you I needed you today.
Yeah.
There was something I knew.
That is definitely a red flag.
You can't
for
be
sure.
driving around with cash in your trunk of your car. I swear that's a true story. I was shocked.
You told me when that happened.
Oh
actually.
my gosh! I was because I come back to the office.
You
I
can't
was
do
shocked.
that. You
No,
can't do that. Especially,
and then I had
you
people
know-
showing up with shoe boxes of cash. I'm like, you can't. Help! Where are you getting all this cash? And so,
Good idea. Go deposit it and give me a check.
So if people have cash, explain to them what it means that their funds need to be sourced.
Well,
You
not
can't-
dealing with a mortgage,
That's the one thing, but if you-
it's one thing, right? But if somebody's dealing with a portion of cash toward their purchase and they're going to be getting a mortgage for the transaction, cash is not an acceptable source of funds. It has to be verified. You can't use it. Just period. You can't use it.
But
so
people
they
don't
have to-
understand that.
They
All right, so
have to
if you
use
have
what they
that-
have, that can be verified.
Okay, so you have 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever. I'll tell you how much this guy had. He has to deposit that money. For how long does it need to stay in an account?
When you're going through the mortgage process, what we ask for is 60 days or 2 months worth of asset statements.
Okay.
Okay, so if somebody has the situation where they have a lot of cash and they can actually deposit it into the bank, they're going to have to wait a little bit before they can start searching and they can deal with that, the mortgage.
Well-
and obviously, it could be looked into, and it depends. Maybe there's something else that is they're gonna ask for prior statements. It's really
It could be a risk.
a
if you
slippery
don't
slope.
Yeah,
it
if
can
you-
be.
The mattress money. That's
Absolutely.
the floorboard money.
Yes.
I don't have any of that in my house. I don't know about you, but one other thing. Someone had said to me, so where can I go? I'm not ready to buy the house just yet. I'm thinking next spring. I don't want to speak to a mortgage rep just yet. I always recommend that they go to annualcreditreport.com.
Yes.
Because there's no free trial. You don't have to sign up for anything. You could do it once a year. You can pull from all 3 credit bureaus. You can even get your score. But what I noticed
I think
is
the
you
score
have
is a
to.
cost. I think
the
you can
score,
get the
I think,
score
is
for
like $8 or
$15.
something. Yeah,
Something like
something
that.
cheap, something inexpensive. But I did it for myself because I wanted to be familiar with it. I had to be on my computer that was attached to a printer. It won't let you download it and save it. You had to be able to print it out right then and there. So that's something you need to know. You can't go on unless you're near
Correct.
a printer.
If you
want
do
to
have
that.
the ability to print out to a PDF on your computer, then it's another thing that you could do
right.
while you're on there. You don't need
Yeah,
to be.
people need to know that. So
connected to that printer.
annualcreditreport.com. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about property taxes.
There's a disease that strikes 2,200 Americans every day. The disease has no cure and is so serious that complications can even result in amputation of lower limbs. Over 17 million people in our country are affected by the disease, yet many don't know the symptoms and don't know that they have it. The disease is diabetes. If you've been diagnosed with diabetes or suspect that you are at risk, don't wait. See a podiatrist, a foot care professional who can prevent serious problems before it's too late. Diabetes is responsible for 87,000 lower limb amputations each year. The key to preventing amputations is early detection and regular foot screenings from a podiatrist. Be sure to check your feet each and every day for skin color changes, slow healing cuts and sores, swelling or redness. And remember, it's what you can't feel that can hurt you. If you notice any symptoms, please contact a podiatrist right away. For more information about diabetes, call 1-866-996-4400 or visit www.nyspma.org on the web.
This is attorney Bob Krahulik of the law firm Beatty & Krahulik, the lawyer guy on WTBQ Radio. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for the latest in legal advice and tips. We're taking calls and giving answers to all your legal questions and issues on WTBQ.
Hi, this is Dick Robinson. Please join me for 2 hours of the Great American Songbook every Saturday morning at 5 here on WTBQ.
Dick Robinson's American Standards by the Sea. WTBQ.
All right, and we're back. This is Jeanine Panarelli.
And Michael Giannetto. Welcome back to the Home and Mortgage Show on WTBQ.
Did you know you can stream us live on the WTBQ.com website?
I did. I've been telling all my family in Florida, actually.
Yeah. I have my sister-in-law, Pamela DeLuca. Shout out to Pam. She's actually in Massapequa on Long Island.
Oh,
and
my
she
wife has a
listens
lot of
to us
cousins
every
in
week.
Massapequa.
Yeah, she listens to us every week on the computer. So thank you, Pam. She's a huge
Pam, thank you
huge
for listening.
fan.
Tell all your friends.
She's a huge fan, so we appreciate that. She always gives me great words of nothing but good, positive. So that's great. So before we talk about property taxes, I did want to mention that things are looking good. You know, things were a little, grim for a while, but I pulled some stats in New York State. Third quarter this year versus third quarter last year, and things actually, I was so
positive,
happy.
Right?
I was very happy. So the days on market for houses, are down almost 9%. The median sales price is up a little over 5%. So last year, the median sales price was $223,000. That's the third quarter of 2012, and now we're up to $235,000. So with the average sales price being almost $310,000 from last year, third quarter, to $333,000, about $333,000 this quarter.
That's great.
So that's really
great.
good.
This is New York State?
This is New York State, yes. And we also have third quarter this year compared to third quarter last year, we're up over 17% in pending sales. So that's under contract. So we got a lot of buyers out there looking to buy. Yes, yeah. So that's good news.
Absolutely. That's
good
some
news.
great activity. I think 2014 is going to be a fantastic year.
I do too. So very exciting stuff.
As long as these rates stay
yes,
fairly
very
low.
exciting. But one thing that buyers are a little concerned with when they're buying a home is what are the property taxes.
It's a big problem.
And yeah,
it's a problem.
So,
well, let me ask you a question. When you are...
I have something
you
huge.
Have something more
yes,
important?
I have something huge that I don't want people to forget about. I don't want them to forget because time is flying by so fast. Christmas next week and then New Year's is the following week. Everyone who didn't already, if you haven't already, we have the re-register for the STAR program for the discount on the school tax portion of your property taxes. If you didn't do that, you have until December 31st to register. So that's huge. You have to go online.
For those of you that
register.
are not aware, I believe they sent out something from the state notifying everybody, but for you, the folks that are not aware, you have to re-register for the STAR exemption. If a property is your primary residence, you get the exemption on your assessment.
Right.
So you should definitely look it up online.
I got a PIN number. Did you get a PIN number in the mail?
Yes, you have to...
I actually
did it before I got that.
Oh, did you?
Because Orange County was a little delayed in those PIN numbers.
I was looking for it and I didn't get it until the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So if you didn't do that, you need to go on to tax.ny.gov, and it's one of the three boxes right there on top. It's register for the STAR program.
Right, for the
so
STAR
just
relief.
Click on that.
It's really important.
It's really
folks.
important. You're going to lose that deduction. Some people
your taxes
get $1,000.
will go up if you do not re-register.
Yeah, you have to do that.
By the way, it does not affect affect the senior citizens.
No, that's
for
just
their
the regular
exemption. Yeah.
the regular star, right? And
Yeah,
that's
so
a
anyone
huge chunk of
65
change.
and over that has the enhanced star for the senior citizen,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect them. They
Some
do not
people-
have to re-register.
They get a lot of money off, and that makes a huge difference. In this economy, it makes a huge difference. I wanted to mention that. That's really important.
Yeah. Actually, if I can talk about that, with the senior citizens,
Mm-hmm.
for those of you that are listening or have somebody that you know or your parents, this can be a great savings for a senior citizen that lives in their home as a primary residence. They're 65 and older. They will get up to a 50% reduction in the assessment. And or exemption of the assessment, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some income limitations that range from $3,000 to $29,000 per year, but it can really be a big savings. So some of those seniors that are struggling out there, it can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And if they need more information, they can go to the same website that you would go to re-register for the STAR program at that ny.tax.gov, or is it the other way around? It's tax.ny.gov.
There you
It's the
go.
other way
There you
around.
go. Yes, tax.ny.gov.
And there's a ton of information on there, including what to do. A lot of people, they think, I'll put my house on the market come spring. Okay? Spring's going to come pretty fast. And what I always recommend to people who might be considering, they want to put their house on the market, take a look at your taxes. If your taxes are too high and if you're overassessed, that's not going to be very appealing to a buyer.
Correct. If you have not looked at what that assessment is and where the market is, I think you really need to take a look and review it and make sure that your house is assessed correctly in this marketplace. You know. It's drastic changes, 30% reductions in value,
Well,
really
from
big difference.
One municipality to another municipality, it's interesting to see how some of them, they made the adjustment for the decline in the market, and some of them not so much.
Well, I got to tell you, this is like a mystery to me because it is
Not so
so
much.
subjective for an assessor. By the way, they are not tax assessors, just so everybody is aware.
Clarify
I was
that,
told,
because
yes, I was told that is
he
a
was
pet
reprimanded.
peeve of some assessors. But it is not a tax assessor. It is strictly an assessor.
An assessor.
That comes up with the assessment of the value of your home. And then there's some things that we want to talk about with the equalization rates and
They
how
just do the
they
math.
calculate it.
They
Right,
come
they
up
do
with the
math,
value,
exactly.
and then they do the math with the rates that they're given.
Right.
They don't.
But I want to know,
make that
how do
up. They don't make.
No, but the subjective part of it is the assessment itself. How do you, they walk around and they say, oh, you know what, that colonial right there, I think that's 80,000, and then the next house they do at 76,000 because the guy has a walkway on his, I mean, I personally dealt with a situation grieving my assessment, and folks, that's what you do. You grieve the assessment. You do not grieve taxes. And when I dealt with it, it was the assessor that I dealt with told me that her belief is anything that's affixed to the property becomes taxable. So, but I don't understand. How is that not a New York State, a mandate of how it works? If somebody has a pool, if somebody has a shed, if somebody has a,
I have all that. I have the extra pole barn, the pool, the wraparound deck.
Well, you have to put all your cars in there.
Oh yes, we got to protect the babies.
Oh, okay.
We have to do that. Yeah. So, but you want to know something interesting? When we were building the deck and building the garage, it wasn't finished. It wasn't 100% finished. And all of a sudden, I get this knock on my front door. My dogs start going crazy. I open up the front door, and someone from the tax department from Warwick, I live in the town of Warwick, came. They wanted to see what we were doing. And I said, really? So I said, but we're not
Did you have a
finished
permit?
yet. Yes, of course I had a permit.
Just checking.
We're going to get into that in future shows. If you're a seller who did work and don't have the
Oh,
CFO or
that's
the
gonna be a
permit for
big
your
one.
bill, that's
That's
going
gonna
to
be a
be
big one.
huge. Yeah, that's a realtor's biggest headache. So they said it really doesn't matter if you're 100% complete or not with your project, because they're going to tax you to the level that you are completed. So when my pole barn garage wasn't 100%, she says, that's all right, we're going to tax you at 75% value. I'm like, really? Really? That's not very nice. I'm not
Yeah.
even using it yet, but it's up, it's built, it's on the property.
Oh,
We're
my
going to start
goodness.
taxing you. So that's not good. My taxes are really
They're up there.
scary. Very,
Well,
very
let
scary.
me ask you a question. As a realtor and broker owner, when you have listings, right? Because I deal with it on the buyer side, so let me come from that approach.
Okay.
That they call me and they say, that they want to purchase a property because they were out with you or somebody else, or, and the taxes on the property based on the listing are X amount, right?
Right.
So I never trust the listings.
Never trust the realtor. Yeah, never.
Caveat
I'm so
emptor, right? So I always go onto the county website. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because the reason why is because if you list the property right now and it doesn't sell until
you're absolutely
February,
right. Going back,
the town
yeah.
/ county taxes could potentially
There
change.
was a while where properties were just sitting there for a while and they weren't selling, and as the values were declining and things become more and more short sale, when you put it on, and now a year later, the listing's still sitting there. Some realtors do not go back and update
the county
taxes.
or
That's
the school
important.
taxes were not updated, and so it appears that they may be a little lower. But I find that a lot, actually. I find
Well,
that a
we
lot
do.
on
We
my
have
side.
to call up. We call up, and then a lot of times you don't see there's the. We mentioned this last week. There's a village tax. You have to
Right.
call up. If there's a village, you have to call up and get the
Yeah.
village tax
It's not
to
on the
add it
county
to the
website.
total tax.
Right.
Yeah, you have to do that because then people they find a house and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's not the real taxes. There's village tax. Well, I can't afford that. So that's you got to disclose all that. You have to
Correct,
disclose all
correct.
that, and it only helps.
And on the
everybody.
mortgage side, what we have to do when we close that mortgage, we are closing it without any star exemption, without any exemptions at all.
assuming they're not going to be taking any exemptions.
Correct,
Yeah,
because there's
you
no
have to.
guarantee that they're going to
Right.
apply.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to do it without. So sometimes, people don't understand that. The buyers are saying, but the taxes are X. Well, they're not for you because you haven't purchased the property and you have to apply.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to touch upon the fact that you can grieve your taxes. Grieve your assessed
Grieve
value.
your
I
assessment.
say that all the
Yeah.
time. I'm wrong.
It's
wrong.
I think
You
it's pretty
grieve your
common, and
assessment. Yeah.
it's
You
interchangeable.
can
but-
do that, and you don't always have to wait. This is what I could be wrong, but I'd recommend go in, have a conversation. Say, look, this house next to me just sold, or that house down the block just sold. Why am I here, and why are they there? You can have that conversation during the year, but there is a deadline that you have to do
Right,
that
per
by. If you
municipality.
wanted to, yeah, every municipality has their own deadlines. That if you do want to do that and have it actually take effect for the following tax year, right?
Correct,
You
correct.
want to make sure you get that in there, and all that information is on the New York State website. The Office of the Real Property and Tax Service is
Yeah,
on there.
In
If you
a
have any
lot of
questions,
cases,
you can give me a call.
it's March 1st in a lot of the municipalities. Some of them differ a little bit, but I think
Yep.
generally
there's
it's
there's a
March
table
1st.
there. Every municipality is a little bit different. Some of the villages,
yeah,
like
some of the
Cornwall,
villages are a little
Washingtonville, then it's earlier on. So that was like actually last month, I think, for some of the villages. So you can get on there and double check, make sure you get that in, so you can hopefully reduce your taxes next tax season.
Absolutely.
Besides the STAR program, there's VA tax reduction too.
Yes, there's the veterans.
That's a nice one. I'm so glad for that. There's people.
five major exemptions, right? Mm-hmm. There's the STAR exemption for the school tax relief. There's the senior citizens, the veterans exemption, the persons with disabilities, and the agricultural properties.
Did you eat breakfast yet? I can
It's
tell.
my first day with my new mouth. And then there's tons of other exemptions, but those are really the 5 major exemptions
Yeah.
for people to take advantage of.
What I'm doing is I'm going to be putting we have a website. We have a Facebook page. The Home and Mortgage Show is on Facebook, but we also
Yes, please
launched.
like our page.
Yes, please like our page. We have a caller.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hi, this is Pamela from Massapequa,
Hey,
your sister-in-law.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. How are you?
How are you?
Hi, Mike. You guys are doing so great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't even own a house anymore, and I'm learning things.
Well, it's time to buy one.
Thank you.
I have a great realtor for you in Massapequa, too.
I know. He does fantastic, but your show is great. I'm a very big fan, and
Thank you.
think you guys, you sound so great. You're doing so good.
Thank you
Thanks.
very
I-
much. You're not biased, though.
No, not at all.
She's trying to butter me up for a better Christmas present.
Yeah.
I think.
Next time I come up to stay, she has to take me out to dinner.
There
There you go.
There
She
you
owes
go.
one. The check's in the mail. Don't worry.
Okay, I won't keep you guys on.
Thank
but
you
you did
so
great,
much for
and you're
calling,
very
Pam.
informative.
Thank
Keep
you
it up.
very much.
you.
Thank you.
All right,
take
guys,
care.
listen, you can find us on Facebook at thehomeandmortgageshow.com, our website, The Home and Mortgage Show. I'm Jeanine Panarelli of Panarelli Realty in Goshen,
And Michael Gianetto with Residential Home
the
Funding, and
creator.
thank you for joining us.
and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great week and Merry
Have a great-
Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas to
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.